So the Doctor Who is, I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I've been enjoying making videos on the main channel, riling up all the Whovians. They're a funny bunch. But now it seems that Doctor Who has riled up, in an effort to appease the woke, has riled up the woke, which is quite comical.
Yeah, that never happens.
Nah, it's the Ouroboros. It's the snake consuming its own tail. Just one review I wanted to look at because it's quite funny. It's The Verge.
Tables have turned.
The new Doctor Who debut felt like a timey-wimey slap to the face, was marked by a number of questionable decisions and racist tropes. I mean, that alone tells us the nature of this article, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Brilliant stuff. So this is the new Doctor. This is Ncuti Gatwa. It's Ncuti, but you actually say it's Ncuti apparently, which is news to me. So this is Ncuti Gatwa, the new Doctor. He's openly queer and black. And they think, The Verge think his introduction was not good enough, quite frankly. Because apparently the first leading incarnation of the Doctor to be played by a black queer man, Doctor Who's 60th anniversary special, absolutely fumbled the ball by forcing Gatwa to exist in another actor's shadow. Oh no. Oh no, because what did they do, ladies and gents? They did a bi-generation. They introduced him with the Doctor.
Bi-generation.
Bi-generation.
There you go.
Bi-generation. You're all a bunch of weirdos. Bi-generation. What?
Oh my god.
Oh, my mic's hot. Fuck.
So basically, David Tennant's Doctor has a fight with the toy maker, gets shot, right? Gets shot, and then his body begins to split into two. You see it here.
Did they touch penises there? Wait a minute. Hold on.
They did. They touched babies. The BBC's been copyright claiming, by the way, guys, just as an FYI. Only negative videos like mine, because they're wankers. So according to the new 15th Doctor, bi-generation, a Time Lord simultaneously regenerating into two separate cells, was supposed to have been a Gallifreyan myth, but as 14 and 15 team up to defeat the toy maker, the Giggle makes obvious that this era of multiple contemporaneous Doctors is here to stay. And while that's sure to delight the legions of Doctor Who fans, all fucking 12 of them, who've come to see Tennant as the quintessential Doctor, it's impossible not to read that the episode is having stolen a lot of Gatwa's thunder. Oh no. Whatever will we do? When Gatwa was first announced as the Doctor Who, or the actor, sorry, who would be taking over the Doctor role following Whittaker's 3-series run, it felt like the BBC finally had the common sense to lean more into Doctor Who's core ideas of imagination, exploration, and discovery, even though they've come out and said, no, it's a fantasy now, actually. But check this bit of dog shit out. No matter how vehemently Doctor Who fans might want to deny it, that's right. If you deny this, it doesn't matter. We don't believe you. The fact that the Doctor, shape-shifting alien from a planet full of brilliant time travelers, was almost exclusively portrayed by a white man until 2017 was small-minded, racist, sexist in equal measure. Couldn't possibly be that the UK, predominantly white people, or was for a while. No. Couldn't possibly be that. No, of course not. Fucking dipshits. Anyway, it's racist, guys. It's racist. So the Giggle, as the episode, brings a 15 Doctor into the picture. From the way he's left standing in his underwear while 14 remains mostly clothed. So Gatwa is in his underwear, David Tennant's not. To the implication that the two Doctors will seemingly coexist, makes it seem as if Davies is trying to placate to the contingent of fans who don't want to accept a queer black actor playing the Doctor by keeping Tennant in the mix. Mate, he's as...
You cannot win, no matter what
you
try with the woke crowd. So you might as well just tell them to, in the words of Elon Musk, go fuck themselves.
Go fund yourself.
There is more. There's more, guys. Those fans vocalized their displeasure at the idea of a black doctor in the same way that people griped about the idea of a black Spider-Man, a black Captain America, or a black James Bond. No, they didn't. That's completely different. That's literally just swapping the ethnicities out. Doctor Who, being black, is just a brand new doctor. Like an actual new doctor. It's a new personality. This one's just for you, Tom. They're the same people who lost their minds at the sight of Black April O'Neil and can't wrap their minds around the concept of Castlevania's Nocturne's black vampires. They're also the people that love Mace Windu. It's almost like Mace Windu's a completely different character. There's one for you here, Nick. It's almost like Mace Windu is a completely different character and is good. But they hated it when Finn picked up a lightsaber. I thought people quite liked Finn picking up a lightsaber. They were like, "Oh, this could go somewhere."
I thought
that's
obfuscating
obfuscating bullshit. There. Okay, here's them trying to like wrap their head around the fact that maybe these fuckers aren't really racist.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they're trying to do here, and they can't. Like, it can't compute. It's not fucking registering because guess what? Yeah, we like Mace Windu. Yeah, we like original black characters. And if you were to turn around and make Mace Windu, oh, I don't know, fucking Asian, I'm sure we'd all say something about it.
Yeah.
I would. I'd be like, what? What are you doing? This was a cool black guy. What's going on?
Yeah.
And when what was it? Falcon Winter Soldier was out and that show was going on, I was like, you know, it was the beginning of the new phase, and I was like, all right, I'm into this show. I'm ready to check it out. You know, and I had so much respect for the Falcon character not taking up the shield in the Captain America thing. He was being his own person. I was like, I liked him. I like him even more now as a character. And then the other blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy who was Captain America, I was sitting there bitching about him, saying, that's not Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America. But then as soon as Falcon ended up picking up the Captain America mantle and I started bitching, then all of a sudden I'm, you know, an ist. And I'm like, did you not hear any of my other arguments? And people all over the internet were making the same arguments. It's like they'll just cherry pick whatever fits their narrative to
of course
use.
they will.
You know, it's so asinine.
So they took Falcon and made him black Captain America at the end of the day is what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can never please these people, and this is why you just don't try. They won't accept apologies. They won't. It's never enough. Is never enough for these people. An apology is never enough. Placating
and the John Boyega
enough.
thing, they're full of shit. I don't remember anybody saying shit about him picking up a lightsaber. What we were saying was that character got shafted.
He was wasted. That's what
he was wasted.
Said.
Yeah, no, and he could have been the yin to the yang. That could have been an amazing thing, right? You could have had one. Ray should have been the bad guy. Sorry, gone to the dark side, and he could have been the light side. And then you've conquered all these arguments, and you've accidentally taken woke storytelling and made it compelling. But no, they shafted John Boyega's character. Finn became nothing. And nothing more than a jumped up janitor. That's bad.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit more here. So it says you can tell that Davies meant for it to be poignant and touching in moments when 15 confronts 14 about his need to deal with his emotional baggage, or when the companions express their excitement at meeting a new doctor. But all of that goodwill is immediately squandered when you have characters who know better from first-hand experiences asking whether the doctor comes in a variety of colors. I mean, that is quite funny. Guess worse? This is The Verge writing this. The trappings and optics of the giggle also had an unfortunate kind of magical Negro quality to 15's heart-to-heart talks with 14. Sorry, what?
Are you not familiar with this?
Can you say that?
Why? I
can say that now?
I'm not familiar.
Well, they can write it. I don't know if we're supposed to say it. But anyway, what that
whatever, I'm
concept basically means, like, you know how you have like this stereotype
Your
that
magic black woman
that
powers.
yeah, well, that goes a little bit beyond this. Like the trope is actually far older. You have it in, for instance, the Green Mile. What it really dates back to, like, if you, for instance, look at the stereotype of Native Americans or Indians, right, who are much closer to nature, right? Like, for instance, the Native American fella in Predator, like, he instantly was able to detect the predator because he's Native American. So he's much more closely aligned with nature. He has like this kind of like magic power. This myth that they're referring to right here is the same basic thing, but the implied part of it is basically that black people are closer to nature and therefore have like this natural wisdom that civilized white people no longer have. And that's kind of like the implied Rossicist part of it. Now, is this something that the writers meant to put in there? For all we know, maybe, because remember, these are wokesters. What we know about them, they are the ones that preaching about anti-racists and virtues and stuff like that, while being the most bigoted, racist, misogynist pieces of shit on the face of the earth. So I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they did put in that trope there, consciously or subconsciously, in that particular way. The story is on the mark. So basically, like, now Doctor Who gets into like a new iteration, and he suddenly gets magical powers associated with a racial stereotype that many have decided, especially on this part of the political aisle, have decided is deeply problematic and stuff right now, and they do that. But yeah, the criticism probably has a point. I mean, it wouldn't come from any of us, but it would come from those cancel pigs, which I believe is the appropriate term for it. And you know what? They have a point, because in their virtue signaling, they failed to live up to their own standards, which are by design unachievable, because they're cancel pigs and they're happy to be a circular fighting squad. So I say, yeah, good, let them have it. I mean, these are the same people that decided that, what's his name, Stavros or whatever.
Oh,
you know,
my God.
This most amazing Doctor Who villain. Like, I haven't grown up with Doctor Who or nothing, but I did see those episodes on the origin of the Daleks. And you know what? That was pretty darn good TV. As Guy Signer and everything in it. Stavros is a really, or Davros or whatever his name is, I can never get it right, really compelling villain. And then they decide that, you know what, he's in a wheelchair and we don't like the implications. So you know what, anything that these writers get, they freaking have coming. So I say, you know what, good for it, let them have it, they deserve it. Let them be told how racist pieces of shit they are for doing this, because they are. Just not in the way that they think.
I mean, the whole Davros thing is so bloody funny, because he was never in a wheelchair; it was a life support machine.
Yeah, he was basically like Captain Pike, wasn't he?
Honestly, it's so bad. I can't believe they said magic neat. My God,
Yeah,
I don't even want to repeat it.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a really old stereotype, a trope. I mean, the people that suddenly find like some issue against the Green Mile, that's what they're complaining about, because there you also have like Michael Clark Duncan's black character with magic abilities, closer to nature and stuff. That's it. That's what they're talking about. And you know, and the funny thing is, my understanding is, like, in the folk tales of the Deep South, where many black people were settled, the stories that evolved there, Brother Rabbit and Brother Bear and stuff like that, is filled with characters like that, from my understanding. So it's the people who made this series. It's people like them that have decided that this part of American culture, of American lore, we have suddenly decided is problematic. But I don't think white people ever invented it. I don't think it came from them. I think that is something that evolved naturally in the folk tales among the black people of the American South. That's where it comes from. And just like the Song of the South, they decided to ban that part of history for complete bullshit reasons.
So funny.
Yeah, like I point out with Song of the South, they like to say, "Oh, it's this, it's that, it's the other." It's like, is it a little racially insensitive compared to today's standards? Oh, more than likely. But at the same time, they overlook the big thing about, and the same thing with Gone with the Wind. You know, like to an extent because of the actress getting the Oscar and them not allowing her to be at the Oscar celebration was a bigger deal to me than the whole thing over that, but not the movie itself. But with the Song of the South, like Andre was kind of getting at there, like they're overlooking that nobody at that time in Hollywood was spending that kind of money and attention in a big studio on a story about Brer Rabbit.
And you know what?
They were preserving and passing down. Exactly, they were preserving and passing down those stories that have been passed down through generations and generations.
And so many of them are lost,
just like they do with Snow White and Pinocchio and all that stuff. Yeah,
that have kept them alive. I mean, for instance, the European folk tales, they are well documented long before Disney, whereas the original American folk tales, many of which came from the black population, as far as I know, most of them are lost to history. And the ones that have preserved them in ways that are accessible for the public at large are Disney. I mean, Brother Rabbit and Brother
Good luck finding
Bear,
a book of them anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
I mean, you want to find a book about like the European folk tales? Have your pick. Thanks to the Brothers Grimm. You want some Nordic folk tales? Have your pick. Thanks to Asbjørnsen and Moe, which collected them on the Norwegian countryside. The Swedes should give thanks to them as well, because they preserve a lot of theirs as well. But the American ones, I mean, the ones that are Disney certainly popularized for many people outside. Otherwise, they would be completely unknown. And what thanks do they get to reference Wish? Will be cancelled for it.
Unbelievable. Well, I thought that was a bit of fun. We'll shuffle on now quickly to some